Welcome! And today we are going to check out some posts from some aspiring comedians on Reddit. Hi, this is Derek. I just put the Drama Llama, Fred, back in his pen so that I can do this quick video for you with some of the stuff that Fred found on Reddit earlier today. Fred says these posts will help us to wash away all that other drama, so that we don't take ourselves too seriously. Oh boy, let's get ready for some jokes. Gil Gandil took the mic. An Englishman is hiking in Scotland and he pauses to drink from a stream. A passing shepherd calls out, "Dinny drink frae that. It's all full of coo piss and shite." The Englishman says to him in a cut glass accent, "I'm terribly sorry, my good fellow, would you very much mind repeating that in the Queen's English?" After pausing a little, the shepherd says, "I'm terribly sorry, sir, I was only asking if you would like to borrow this tin cup and get a proper drink." Griever went up and delivered. A man walks into a bar and orders a drink. The bartender gives the man his drink and the man asks, "If I show you something crazy, would you let me have free drinks for the rest of the night?" The bartender thinks for a minute and then says, "It would have to be something spectacular to take that offer." The man leans down and picks up a box and sets it on the bar. He opens the box and inside is a small piano man, whom is only 1 foot tall, and beside him a little piano. The piano man starts playing classical music like Beethoven and Chopin. Once he finishes, the bartender is in utter disbelief. He tells the man, "You can have free drinks for the rest of the night, but only if you tell where you got this." The man says, "In the alleyway behind your bar, there is a genie who is granting free wishes to everyone who wants them." Elated, the bartender heads behind his bar to see if it was true. A few minutes passed and out of the alleyway erupts a cacophony of quacking. The bartender rushes back into the bar and shuts his door against a wave of thousands of ducks. He manages to secure the door and says to the man, "I think that the genie is hard of hearing, because after I asked for $1 million, these ducks appeared by the thousands." The man chuckles and says, "Did you really think I wished for a 12-inch pianist?" Quizmexer strolled up on stage and delivered. One blonde and one brunette inherit the family ranch. Unfortunately, after just a few years, they are in financial trouble. In order to keep the bank from repossessing the ranch, they need to purchase a bull from the stockyard in a far town so that they can breed their own stock. They only have $600 left. Upon leaving, the brunette tells her sister, "When I get there, if I decide to buy the bull, I'll contact you to drive out after me and haul it home." The brunette arrives at the stockyard, inspects the bull, and decides she wants to buy it. The man tells her that he will sell it for $599, no less. After paying him, she drives to the nearest town to send her sister a telegram to tell her the news. She walks into the telegraph office and says, "I want to send a telegram to my sister telling her that I've bought a bull for our ranch. I need her to hitch the trailer to our pickup truck and drive out here so we can haul it home." The telegraph operator explains that he'll be glad to help her, then adds, "It's just 99 cents a word." Well, after paying for the bull, the brunette only has $1 left. She realizes that she'll only be able to send her sister 1 word. After a few minutes of thinking, she nods and says, "I want you to send her 1 word, comfortable." The operator shakes his head. "How is she ever going to know that you want her to hitch the trailer to your pickup truck and drive out here to haul that bull back to your ranch if you send her just the word comfortable?" The brunette explains, "My sister's blonde. The word's big. She'll read it very slowly, comfortable." Verber then took the mic. The 10th Fast and Furious film should be called Fasten Your Seatbelt. Ha 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 ha. I am definitely going to go see that one, it shall be great. Jethro Ong was next on with, "What did Master Yoda say when he saw himself on a 4K TV? HDMI. Yoga the cat was next with, "Teacher, if I gave you 2 cats and another 2 cats and another 2, how many would you have?" Johnny, 7. "No, listen carefully. If I gave you 2 cats, and another 2 cats and another 2, how many would you have?" 7. "Let me put it to you differently. If I gave you 2 apples, and another 2 apples and another 2, how many would you have?" 6. "Good. Now if I gave you 2 cats, and another 2 cats and another 2, how many would you have?" 7. Johnny, where in the heck do you get 7 from? Because I've already got a freaking cat. Captain Stabbin CR got his chance next. I am a proud anti-vaccine father of 3. Edit 2 now. Second edit 1 now. Third edit never mind. Fourth edit wow, this really blew up. I would like to dedicate all these wonderful awards to my 3 children. Bye son, Diane, and immunity. They would have been so proud. Rest in peace. Mike for Real stepped up next. Do you think Jeff Bezos sleeps naked? Or with pajamas on? Mr. Reddit was next with. I got fired from my job because I kept asking my customers whether they would prefer smoking or non-smoking. Apparently the correct terms are cremation and burial. One true procrastinator finally got a chance to say. A blonde woman was speeding down the road and was pulled over by a female police officer, who was also a blonde. The blonde cop asked to see the blonde driver's license. She dug through her purse and was getting progressively more agitated. What does it look like? She finally asked. The policewoman replied. It's square and it has your picture on it. The driver finally found a square mirror in her purse, looked at it and handed it to the policewoman. Here it is, she said. The blonde officer looked at the mirror, then handed it back saying, okay, you can go. I didn't realize you were a cop. Wow. You know, one true procrastinator, I can't believe you just said that. It was funny though. Buckthorn hesitatingly went up and delivered, okay, this one is very long, so brace yourself. One day a man decided to retire. He booked himself on a Caribbean cruise and proceeded to have the time of his life, that is, until the ship sank. He soon found himself on an island with no other people, no supplies, nothing, only bananas and coconuts. After about 4 months, he is lying on the beach one day when the most gorgeous woman he has ever seen rows up to the shore. In disbelief, he asks, "Where did you come from? How did you get here?" She replies, "I rowed over from the other side of the island where I landed when my cruise ship sank." Amazing, he notes. You were really lucky to have a rowboat wash up with you. Oh, this thing? Explains the woman. I made the boat out of some raw material I found on the island. The oars were whittled from gum tree branches. I wove the bottom from palm tree branches, and the sides and stern came from an eucalyptus tree. But, where did you get the tools? Oh, that was no problem, replied the woman. On the south side of the island, a very unusual stratum of alluvial rock is exposed. I found that if I fired it to a certain temperature in my kiln, it melted into ductile iron, and I used that to make tools and used the tools to make the hardware. The guy is stunned. Let's row over to my place, she says, and I'll give you a tour. So, after a short time of rowing, she soon docks the boat at a small wharf. As the man looks to shore, he nearly falls off the boat. Before him is a long stone walk leading to a cabin and tree house. While the woman ties up the rowboat with an expertly woven hemp rope, the man can only stare ahead, dumbstruck. As they walk into the house, she says casually, "It's not much, but I call it home. Please sit down. Would you like a drink?" "No. No thank you," the man blurts out, still dazed. "I can't take another drop of coconut juice." "Oh, it's not coconut juice," winks the woman. "I have a still. How would you like a tropical spritz?" Trying to hide his continued amazement, the man accepts, and they sit down on her couch to talk. After they exchange their individual survival stories, the woman announces, "I'm going to slip into something more comfortable. Would you like to take a shower and shave? There's a razor in the bathroom cabinet upstairs." No longer questioning anything, the man goes upstairs into the bathroom. There, in the cabinet, is a razor made from a piece of tortoise bone. 2 shells honed to a hollow ground edge are fastened onto its end inside a swivel mechanism. This woman is amazing, he muses. What's next? When he returns, she greets him wearing nothing but some small flowers on tiny vines, each strategically positioned. She smelled faintly of gardenias. She then beckons for him to sit down next to her. "Tell me," she begins suggestively, slithering closer to him, "we've both been out here for many months. You must have been lonely. When was the last time you played around?" She stares into his eyes. He can't believe what he's hearing. "You mean?" He swallows excitedly as tears start to form in his eyes. "You've built a golf course too?" What the? freshest M8 took a chance with. Two burglars are robbing a liquor store. One turns to the other and asks, "Is this whiskey?" The other replies, "Yeah, but not as whiskey as robbing a bank." NASA Nikki took the mic. "Did you know Teslas don't have that new car smell? They have more of an Elon Musk." Poor Choi Gupto ran up to the stage with, "My deaf girlfriend just told me, we need to talk. That is not a good sign." Butterfly's books then bravely went up to the mic. Frank farts in the classroom and his teacher gets really upset and throws him out. He goes and sits outside the class and can't stop laughing. The principal walks by and sees him. He asks, "Frank, why are you sitting outside your class laughing?" "I farted in class and the teacher threw me out." The principal asked him again, "Well then, why are you laughing?" "Because those idiots are sitting in the class smelling my fart while I'm outside in the fresh air." Brady III braved the crowd with. A woman is breastfeeding on the bus but struggling to get her baby to suckle. So she says to her baby, "Eat up now or I'm going to give it to that nice man over there," and points at the man sitting across from her. 10 minutes later, "You have to eat, baby, or I will give to that man." 5 minutes later, "Baby, come on now, I can't waste this milk, so you have to eat or I'm giving it to that man." At this point the gentleman sitting across from her yells, "For F's sake, make up your mind, lady, my stop was 3 stops ago." Lovejoy 1 bolted up on stage. "My favorite childhood memory was building sandcastles with my grandmother. Until my mom took the urn from me." Ghost Robo X5 then got a chance. "I was drinking a margarita and the waitress screamed, 'Does anyone know CPR?' I yelled, 'I know the entire alphabet,' and we all laughed and laughed. Well, except for one guy." Bipolar Unipolar then delivered. "My wife yelled from upstairs and asked, 'Do you ever get a shooting pain across your body, like someone's got a voodoo doll of you and they're stabbing it?' Sounding concerned I replied, 'No.' She responded, 'How about now?' Cyclopropagative then went up. "I saw my wife, slightly drunk, yelling at the TV. 'Don't go in there. Don't go in the church, you moron.' She was watching our wedding video again." Captain Stabbin CR got another chance at the mic. "I bet my butcher $1,000 that he couldn't reach the beef on the top shelf without a ladder. He said the stakes were too high." Teasebuster showed up late but got a chance. A woman, cranky because her husband was late coming home again, decided to leave a note, saying, "I've had enough and have left you. Don't bother coming after me." Then she hid under the bed to see his reaction. After a short while, the husband comes home and she could hear him in the kitchen before he comes into the bedroom. She could see him walk towards the dresser and pick up the note. After a few minutes, he wrote something on it before picking up the phone and calling someone. "She's finally gone, yeah I know, about bloody time, I'm coming to see you, put on that sexy French nightie. I love you, can't wait to see you, we'll do all the naughty things you like." He hung up, grabbed his keys and left. She heard the car drive off as she came out from under the bed. Seething with rage and with tears in her eyes she grabbed the note to see what he wrote. "I can see your feet. We're out of bread, be back in 5 minutes." E420 CDI then strolled up to the mic. "I was just having a quiet pint by myself in a half-empty pub, when some guy comes over. 'Would you mind moving, that's my seat.' Seeing as though I'd been there an hour, and there was plenty of other empty seats, I politely refused. He started getting quite aggressive at that point, saying, 'I've never seen you in here before, I've sat in that seat every Saturday night for the past 10 years, so move it.' Still refusing, the guy walked right up to me, passed me 2 sticks and said, 'Well, you play the effing drums then.'" Ultimum 226 finally remembered his joke and then took the mic. "A clown held the door open for me yesterday. I thought it was a nice gesture." Swifted Oak and then bounced on stage. "Saw my dwarf neighbor this morning standing at the bus stop. So I stopped and said, 'Jump in, I'll give you a lift.' F off, he screamed at me. I thought to myself, what an ungrateful person. So I zipped up my backpack and kept on walking. Pretty Third went up to deliver. A woman was walking down the street with her left tit out. A policeman stops her and says, "Miss, do you know your left tit is hanging out?" She looks down and says, "Crap. I left the baby on the bus again." And finally, SGRL 2494 got her chance to go up on stage. A husband died. A few years later the wife died. As she got to heaven, she sees her husband and runs up to him with tears in her eyes. "Oh darling, how I've missed you." The husband extends his arms, stopping her from embracing him. "Whoa there, woman. The contract was until death." Well, there you have it. A perfectly great set of jokes posted by a bunch of fine and funny citizens. Help support this channel by smashing the like and subscribe buttons. And hit that silly little bell as well to ensure you get the latest videos. Fred is always finding stuff for me to post regularly. So this is Derek signing off. Thanks for watching. Good grief, it sounds like Fred is out of his pen again. He must have found more funny jokes for me to share with you. See you soon.